Throughout the hour, we have been telling you about the latest from that deadly plane crash in the French Alps. We know that the co-pilot of Germanwings, that flight, had apparently locked himself in the cockpit and deliberately crashed the plane into the mountains. That was what we know tonight. At 5, we told you that the CEO of Lufthansa, who owns the low-budget carrier, said their pilots do undergo medical examinations, but that does not include psychological testing. So many questions, including a lot of speculation, of course, about what might have been going on, the pilot's mental health. We want to bring in Captain Dave Powell in on Skype. He's joining us now from the Kalamazoo Battle Creek area. He's the dean of WMU's College of Aviation. He's a former pilot. Thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. You know, this is a rare occurrence, but it's still enough to raise some questions about the mental health stressors that pilots face. What's your take, Dave?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, this is really a unique and unusual situation. If this is really what occurred, you just don't expect things of this nature to happen at this level of sophistication, and particularly at this level of this person's career.
You know, so many times in society, we see this in all aspects, not just aviation. It's just this lone wolf that you can't predict what's going to happen or how they might act. Is there any way to stop this kind of thing from happening?
And again, speculatively speaking, if this is what really truly occurred, and I'd be happier once we get an official aircraft investigation result of it. But if it really is what did occur,
right?
What happens in America is, and I was a United pilot, obviously, and what we have is what's called a third-person type of scenario that you do. So you have two pilots in the cockpit. If one leaves the cockpit for whatever reason, we will bring in either another pilot that we'd have on board, and if that doesn't happen, then obviously you bring in a flight attendant. And so you always have two people inside that cockpit. And if it truly was a suicide attempt, you know, most people don't try suicide by them with somebody else with them. They do it on their own. And so having that second person in there, that is not the procedure in Europe. And it only is that way in the United States that I know of for sure. So I think that would be an easy and simple way to immediately, they could change that procedure tomorrow and prevent that from happening.
Right. They could be looking at a policy change there. So you're saying that under any circumstances, at least in the United States, there's no individual that's left alone in the cockpit.
And not only just flying in the United States, any United States carrier, if the United's flying into Europe or to Europe, Asia, whatever, that policy still goes in place. So there's always two people inside that cockpit.
Yeah, so puzzling. Still so many questions. You hate to speculate on what's going on. We're just taking our information from what we're hearing overseas. Dave Powell joining us tonight on Skype down at WMU, the College of Aviation, and a former pilot himself. Dave, thanks for your time.
My pleasure, Brian. See you later.